It was supposed to be an ordinary Friday night. Megan had asked me to join her for a dinner organized by her colleagues. A casual get-together, she said. I wasn't thrilled about spending my evening with strangers, but she seemed excited, so I agreed. Lately, she'd been busier than usual, claiming it was all for a promotion. I tried to believe her, even as the late-night calls, vague texts, and sudden team meetings began to raise quiet alarms in my head. Still, I chose to trust her. Before we left, she stood in front of the mirror, putting on her lipstick, the red one I used to love. She looked radiant, but there was something in her smile that didn't belong to me anymore. The restaurant was filled with chatter and laughter when we arrived. Everyone seemed relaxed. Everyone but me. As soon as Megan spotted a man at the center of the group, her face lit up in a way that made my stomach turn. He was tall, sharply dressed, and carried himself like someone who never doubted he was the most important person in the room. "That's Jason," she said too casually. "He's just a friend from work." The way she said friend told me everything I needed to know. Jason stood up, extended his hand, and smiled with that smug kind of charm people use when they think they've already won. "You must be Megan's husband," he said. "I've heard a lot about you." I shook his hand, met his eyes, and smiled back, because I already knew exactly who he was. Throughout dinner, Megan laughed a little too loudly at his jokes. She leaned in close when he spoke, brushed his arm as if by accident, and gave him the kind of attention she hadn't given me in months. The others noticed, but politely pretended not to. I sat there quietly, keeping my mask on, while inside, every detail burned itself into memory. What they didn't know was that I had already known about their affair for weeks. The late-night calls, the overtime, the cheap hotel receipts. I had also known something else. That 2 weeks earlier, I had finalized the acquisition of their company, Jason's department included. When the main course arrived, Megan tried to steer the conversation toward harmless topics, but Jason, eager to impress, steered it right back to work. "We've been crushing it lately," he said, flashing her a look that made my jaw tighten. Megan's been my go-to person. Couldn't have done half of it without her. I smiled slightly. "That's good to hear," I said. "I've actually heard quite a bit about your company myself." Jason looked intrigued. "Oh, yeah? From who?" "From the people who sold it to me." I replied smoothly. "As of this morning, I own it, which makes me your new boss." The air left the table. Forks froze midair. Megan blinked like she hadn't heard me right. Jason's confident smirk disappeared. "You're kidding," Megan whispered. I turned to her calmly. "No, I'm not." Then to Jason, I added, "Looks like we'll be working closely, though maybe not as closely as before." The silence that followed could have cut glass. Jason tried to laugh it off, muttering something about misunderstandings, but I interrupted him. "There's no misunderstanding," I said evenly. "I've seen everything. The messages, the calls, all of it. You're lucky I still know how to behave in public." Megan's face turned pale. "Mark, please, not here," she said quietly, tears welling up. "Not here." I repeated, standing up, "You made your choices here." I adjusted my jacket, gave Jason one last look, and said, "Enjoy the meal. It's the last one you'll have on my expense account." Then I turned to Megan. "You called him your friend." I introduced myself as his boss. "I guess we're even now." No one said a word as I walked out. The clink of a glass was the only sound behind me. That night, I checked into a hotel and ignored every message she sent. The next morning, I called my lawyer and filed for divorce. A week later, Jason resigned, apparently realizing that working for the man whose wife he betrayed isn't a sustainable career path. Megan tried to meet me one last time, crying, apologizing, begging for forgiveness. I told her quietly, "You didn't just lose your husband, you lost the only person in that room who ever truly respected you." Revenge didn't need shouting. It came in a calm voice, a steady handshake, and the sound of me walking away while they finally understood what they'd lost.